Alright everyone, hi, welcome back, or we're back, or... So, you were deciding to, post getting cleaned up, dropping your stuff off, leave the boat again and check out Mezro. It's probably by now, I'd say like probably around 8 or 9 in the morning. You got in probably very early morning. The boat arrived maybe around like 6. It didn't take you too long to find a hospital, drop off a gnome, and get to the boat. What's your plan?
I'll be honest, I was expecting not to actually go out and just kind of chill.
Oh yeah, we can definitely sit and sleep for a while.
Whatever, it's fine. I don't think any of us actually know what to do in this city anyway.
We just know that one place to drink that sells shit in a cup.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm down to just hang out for a little bit and sleep a lot and be very troubled about the past events of the last few days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Curious.
So you're just kind of relax in your rooms for now. And rest up for much of the day. Kind of let things kind of go by. And you certainly can do that. The day will pass. You'll enjoy yourselves in at least a level of civilization. Certainly not what you're used to, but, it's something. It's better than nothing at this point in time. The day will pass, and eventually, though, when it gets towards the evening, you will receive a knock on the door, and one of Robin's boy toys will show up.
Seems about correct.
The mistress will see you now.
Okay then.
They'll take you upstairs to the large kind of bar relaxation room that you had visited before. Ah, I heard you were back. How did things go?
Not as expected.
It went.
Yeah, it went. It's probably the correct phrase for that. How did your business go?
It was concluded successfully, and then I enjoyed my time here.
Yeah, it certainly seemed like a fun time.
I mean,
Well,
in the globe sounded cool.
I've been considering a new husband, and just wanted to spend some time before I'd settle down again.
Oh. Who have you been considering for your new husband, out of interest?
In fact, one of the local business leaders here in Mezro.
Is he one of the ones that deals in dinosaurs?
No.
Oh, okay.
He did. It's kind of.
Most of the dinosaur trade tends to be more illegal now, with only certain breeders being able to provide things.
Oh, it seems so fun to own one, you know?
Yes, but, would you have a wolf in your house?
Yes.
absolutely.
Oh. Well, most people in the city would not. Kind of giving you like a kind of like this kind of like quizzical look for a minute of like, all right.
We come from a time where rangers exist, fairly commonly.
Well, anyway. We'll be leaving tomorrow morning then, unless there's anything else that you need to do around here.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think we're done.
That sounds great. Alright. Well, if there's anything else you need, I'll be here. As one of her men kind of come over with like a bowl of grapes and starts serving it to her.
Oh.
And noting that she's wearing like something that is incredibly like skimpy and probably like doesn't really cover her kind of thing, you know, like nearly see-through.
Yeah.
Well. I like the cat was just like, me too.
Don't mind them.
Oh, I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, just heading back to your rooms, relaxing the night, and getting ready to leave the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Well, the evening goes uneventful. It's just another night. And, you can relax a little bit, kind of recover yourselves, from your adventures within the jungle. And soon afterward, the next morning, the yacht will set sail and head back to Calimport. The journey is as long as it was before, not a particularly huge one, but enough of one to get you there decently. And it'll be kind of an evening with a little bit of chill in the air, which is maybe not necessarily unusual for Calimport, but maybe a little more chill than you're used to when you finally arrive back in the city, in the docks.
Oh, I can't wait to get back to the apartment.
I just need like 5 cups of coffee.
Oh yeah, and I have these cool coffee beans.
Yeah, you're right.
Bonus. Or score. You'll manage to get home just fine. Probably take the bus, I guess, I'm assuming. And, once you get back there, the 4 of you will settle into the apartment as if you never left. Having been gone for, like, well, probably near, like, close to 2 weeks now. With everything said and done.
Oh.
Just flopping back down on the couch, turning on the TV, enjoying some coffee.
Oh, I don't remember what's happening in the show now, and everything's moved on. I don't know what I missed.
We missed everything. Just like semi-distraught. Mostly because she's finally getting to properly relax, so now it's just like catching up to her. She's just upset.
The
Oh.
question is, does Hulu exist?
Oh, that is a good question.
Would there be a streaming service of some kind? There might be.
Would they know about it though?
Probably not.
I mean, we would know about it, but it's more like there may be a
Would we be
way.
able to get it?
Your schedules will return to normal. What's your plan now? That you're back home, your schedule's returning to normal, you can get back to work, you can kind of get back to everything you've been doing. What is your plan after that?
So, besides resuming cult activity, probably I would like to research, do some research into Astrith. See if I can find information on him, whether online or I'll even go to like the local library.
Okay, you could give me a religion check. I don't think you would necessarily get advantage just because the information from the Outer Planes has been cut off. So, even with your research, I'll give you another religion check, a separate one from the one you had before, but I don't think I can just, you know, give you that bonus. Yeah, unfortunately, it seems as though in at least a lot of the public kind of information on the old religions and the Outer Planes, there isn't a lot of information of, like, specifically named devils. A few of the very high-ranking ones are named. The last known, Princes of Hell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the lords of the various circles. But beyond that, very little information. Like, there's previous information, like the previous controllers of them, you know, things like that. You can definitely find some information on Hell, but it's just that name just hasn't popped up.
Do we have any, like, in any of the books that we brought back? Are they... Remember what they had?
Which books did you have and from what source? Because it's always hard for me to remember where people picked up things.
We got it from our temple.
Oh, you found some stuff in the temple. In your temple. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Most of them
Yeah.
seem to... Well, the thing is, like, even if you would go through those, there would be no reference to him. If he is a devil...
That's the thing is you know, I have devil lexicon very specifically noted in my notes, outdated.
Yeah.
It's from our time.
Yeah, and in 2,000 years, a lot can change. There can be devils that get killed off. There can be new ones that have been formed or born, you know? So, the unfortunate thing is just, yeah, no information that can help you. There, at least.
Oh well.
Oh well. More than one person has the cat meowing. So what's the next plan after that?
Well, either way, that's what I'm spending time on, so...
Anybody else spending some time currently on anything?
I'd quite like to go get the treasure appraised.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But probably not the staff, because I'll leave that with the
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'd probably do that at some point as well.
If you want to convert it to lira, you can probably get like, we'll say, with what you have left, like 10,000 lira.
Damn.
Mhm.
Okay then. Let's get some 10,000 lira.
Okay. Yeah, you can trade that in and have a windfall of money that you can do with what you will.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. You'll have some bigger fundings that you don't have to, like, build up for something now if you wished to. Or if you had some other kind of plan.
Oh, we could buy a car.
Do we have enough for that?
We have 10,000 lira.
That'd definitely be enough.
For, you know, a used
cheap
car.
used car. Yeah. And less.
Actually, 10,000 isn't even that cheap of a used car.
Yeah,
Heck
no,
yeah.
we had like a proper car, but we could only spend like a couple thousand, get a kind of used one in case we crash it.
That's a good point. We should probably also get driving lessons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We probably by now have learned that you need a license.
Mm-hmm.
So we could probably work on that for a bit.
So, yeah. Yeah. If you want to, you can invest in getting a car and getting a license. Who wants to get the license? Or do you all want to try to get licenses?
I feel like we should all try and get them.
Yeah.
So if one of us succeeds, that's the driver.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Okay. So yeah. You'll arrange for yourselves to be, as they say, taught how to drive a car. It'll take a while, of course. It's like weeks of training, you know, that you can only go certain times. And eventually, though, you will successfully be able to pass the courses. And then you just need to take the driving test, which you need a car for. Is there, like, what we'll just go by, like, the general, like, forms of cars we have now. What kind of car do you want? Do you want, like, just a basic car? Kind of station wagon, minivan, SUV?
I mean, so that's the question, like, actually, you know what we should get?
Oh, wow.
We should just get a van.
We could just get just a plain unmarked white van.
Well, not unmarked, obviously, but...
Oh,
I
we
mean-
could have a cult van. We could paint it with all our cult things, and we could advertise with the van.
Yeah.
Or we might get caught and arrested.
Is it illegal to have a cult?
I don't
We're
know.
not
If we start doing
doing it,
illegal
That is
shit,
a
yes.
that is a question. Does Calimport have free speech laws?
They probably have some kind of basic free speech laws. As like a very big like merchant type place. I'd say they have basic laws in place. Because I think they're probably they were effectively an oligarchy for most of their existence. But I'd say probably nowadays they are probably some kind of maybe like a republic of some kind. Not like a true democracy for Calimsham, but like you know, somewhere like one of those like in between things. I compare it more probably like that, like you've got, what's a good comparison? Maybe Britain? Because they have like, isn't like, in the, Parliament, there's like there's the House of Lords and the House of Commons?
Yeah.
Except like, the lord's side is more like old merchant families from Calimsham's past.
So the same as England, basically.
Okay, yeah, so it's England basically. So yeah, think of it very much so like the England's, you know, kind of stuff. So there is like a representation, but there's also like old blood in their government at all times.
Good old money.
Mm-hmm.
Gets you anywhere.
Hey, them families, they built Calimport as the great city it is now. As the New York / Miami / LA of the inner sea.
That's a lot of slashes.
Well, I mean, like, it's some kind of amalgam of all three of those, because it's literally like, it's a like massive, both deserty city, but it's also like a massive trade port, and like, it's just, you know.
Well, the question is, I mean, is it urban sprawl or actual cityscapes?
Probably both.
Okay.
You know, they're
then it's probably very much like LA.
like Midtown probably has that, like, probably Midtown, downtown, like certain areas of it have like big sky rises that can remind you of that, and then you have like the like Old Town and New Town, which are like very much so like smaller like urban areas with a lot more shorter buildings and some more housing and stuff. Probably like at the edges of New Town.
You should know. Urban sprawl does not mean housing. It means urban sprawl.
Look, urban sprawl is a descriptor. It's not a very good descriptor. It is the urban area sprawls out.
There's a very distinct way LA is. It's hard to explain to anyone who hasn't been here.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically like, it's really funny because it's actually really hard to navigate because it's just, there are tunnels, there are things. It's the weirdest place ever in terms of the way it's laid out.
Well, look, I have to also, like, as someone that lives near Philadelphia, Philadelphian has the weirdest sprawl of suburbs, period. Like,
yeah,
you go anywhere near it and you're like this is a suburb, but we're like, I'm like 30 minutes from the city. It's a suburb of it, like proper. You know, this counts as part of it. You know, it's like, god damn it, you spread out. Big cities, they just are like, they're blobs. So it's a blob.
Yeah. Good old blob.
Just like, and there it is. Anyway, so that's Calimport. There you go.
Pretty much, though, just more logistically, urban sprawl happens when a city is built up without a lot of rules or restrictions, and it's just a lot of people coming in and building what they want.
Yeah,
it's pretty much how LA got started.
It's pretty much how
a lot of people came in during like gold rush periods and stuff, and it just kind of built up real fast, and no one had time to lay it out properly.
I'm fairly certain most like the big cities that we could name probably are just have as much badness. Like I look at, like, I've been to New York, I've been to Philadelphia. No one planned for some of the crap in those cities.
Oh, no,
not entirely, no, but there's been a lot of like reconstruction, especially as skyscrapers started getting built.
That's true. Reconstruction. Anyway, Continuing. So yeah, you going for the minivan? Or you could go full-fledged van too. Like, but it wouldn't be like creepy van that you would like have business in. It would probably be like, you know, just large vehicle that could carry a lot of people. Or there's probably you could get like a pickup truck too.
You can be like Bob.
You could be like Bob.
You gotta make sure the cell fits in there comfortably.
They do have that you can get specific seats for folks with tails.
Oh.
They are extra. Now you can get them installed in all your seats, or just specific seats.
Maybe all, because I also have tails.
You do, but not quite as, like, you know...
no, not as big.
Not as big.
But still.
Yours is a little bit more not prehensile. What's the word for? What's a word for this?
I know what you mean, and I don't remember it either, and it's bothering me.
Anyway.
Better is what the point is.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Who's the driver? Because if I'm the driver, then we really only have to install it in the driver's seat.
I think we didn't go through the test yet. We don't know, do we?
I thought you were all taking the test for it anyway.
I mean,
Yeah.
so this is the thing is, but whoever we were kind of like whoever passes first is the driver.
Whoever fails the least hard.
Yeah.
We could all just do a roll, and whoever rolls highest.
Please,
Is the...
everybody give me both a intelligence and dexterity check then, right now.
Okay.
Just both of them. We'll go from this. We'll see how, like, you kind of your average of these two.
Oh, I'm so dexterous.
I couldn't figure out how to do it. I'm absolutely not gonna
Oh my god. Hold on.
Oh, well.
Oh, everyone's dexterous, hey?
I mean, like, everybody does a very good job at, like, the manual manipulation and, like, the learning with the person, but, like, Theresy's really good at picking up the rules of the road. And knowing what to do.
That's fair.
Yeah. You know...
It's really funny. It's really funny because I have actually training in, like, I have proficiency in all of the knowledge skills, but my intelligence is just a flat 10.
Oh god, yeah, mine's 14.
I literally have the highest intelligence, but I still rolled a 1.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That happens.
Oh.
The curse of the one.
I can drive, but I don't understand everything that was.
You keep
Spoken.
forgetting, like, stop on red, stop on red, you know, things like that.
I just have a really hard time, like, so, you know, like, with, so, what do I, you know, it's like, yeah, just like, wait, so, if people are getting mad, I don't just ram into them?
What do you mean I'm not supposed to scream out the window?
Belle has road rage.
Yeah, I could totally see her having road rage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, you'll probably arrange for having, like, one of the other seats, set for Vercel. You know, you probably don't need a lot of, like, extra things for seat manipulation for everyone else. Are you just going for the standard package? Are you getting any of the bells and whistles on your vehicle? And did we say van or minivan then? I forgot, because I forget everything instantaneously.
Van. I think the idea is that we can ship things
Okay.
more innocuously.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we'll say it's like one of those vans that it has, like, it's got the rows of seats, but you can, like, remove or fold out the back ones if you want to, like, ship large things too. So it's not like the, like a work van, it's an actual, like, you know, people van. But,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you can get, like, 3 rows of seats in there, you know, rather than 2. Alright.
Yep.
Yeah, you get a really nice, van. Do you want to get it new or used?
Used. We don't. 10,000 is not enough for new.
Okay. Then they can put some stuff in. They can say they can, like, it came with, like, let's say, like, a CD player. It had, like, what is it? Is it bucket seats or something? You are getting one of the seats changed to, like, they've literally found one of the seats that has the passenger seat in the front is set for, like, someone with a tail. But they're, like, leather seats in the front also, and the gear shift has a skull on it that the person who had it before had.
Oh, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And there's this kind of like weird, almost sort of semi-smoky smell that still remains. That it seems like they mostly got out.
Yeah, that'll leave in a couple of months.
Mm-hmm. But it seems to be working fine, and now you have like a let's give it like it's like a tan van.
Unless we later realize that the carpets are made of hemp or something, but you know.
That may be one of the reasons that, you know, it smells like that, but that's besides the point.
It'll be fine.
So, you got a van. What's the next part of your plan?
So we have a van.
You got a vehicle. You've learned to drive.
There's that place that we needed to go.
Yes. You do have a list of things that you do need to take care of still. Cult's coming along. You do need an orb. You need a girl, and you need a ritual.
Right. So we have the amulet.
Yeah, so you can use it
I'd
to
probably
summon
spend
some devils.
Yeah.
That will be specifically there to assist you.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever's wearing it, theoretically, you think that they're meant to guard you, but you're not 100% sure if it was just meant to serve, and your cult leader just had them do that, to guard him directly.
Okay. Well, I would probably at some point summon them.
Mm-hmm.
And probably just... Actually, that's the thing, is perhaps I could identify to see maybe the kinds of magic that are on it. Would that give me any more insight into that?
I'm gonna say probably not. Did I give it a name? Because I might give it a new name if I forgot to name it. If you're using Identify. If someone wrote it, because I don't think I wrote a name down in my notes. Because I'm usually good at naming things if I remember to name things. I don't think I did. So, it is, oh, I need a name that I'm not remembering to give this properly. Where it is here? That's the one that I need. Yeah. It is called the Shield of Dis.
Okay.
Okay.
Good old Dis.
God
Well,
damn it, this.
After inspecting it, also I would have inspected that staff at some point during all of this.
Yes. And I need to give you information on that one. Give me a second for that one. That was a... Is that the right one?
Staff of the Magi, no.
No. That is the one. It is a Staff of the Woodlands.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? No.
Can only be used by a druid. You have one of
Ha!
those. It is a quarterstaff, which +2 to attack and damage rolls.
Oh.
While holding it, you also have +2 to spell attack rolls.
Ooh.
The spells that it can be used to cast are Animal Friendship, Awaken, Bark Skin, Locate Plants or Animals, Speak with Animals, Speak with Plants, and Wall of Thorns.
I don't even use these spells anymore then.
But you don't have to use your spell slots.
You don't have to use your spell slots or prepare them. Because
Yeah.
again, druids know all spells anyway. They can...
Yeah. You basically can be like, I can prepare other spells in their place. You
I can get rid of like 90% of the spells I have already.
Yeah. And switch them out for other stuff. You can use an action to cast Pass Without Trace without using charges. And also, you can transform the staff into a tree.
Heck yeah.
You can like plant it in the ground and it becomes a 60-foot tall tree with a 5-foot diameter trunk.
Oh.
I have my own tree.
Just be like, tree!
The branches at the top. The branches at the top spread out in a 20-foot radius.
Yeah, it's just a tree.
I've got a tree. How do I?
And as for the Shield of Dis, it seems to summon a limited amount of devils. In game terms, I would say it can summon about 30 worth of challenge of devils, but nothing more powerful than ice devils at most. That's the most powerful thing it can summon. So you could summon like 2 ice devils or a lot more of lesser devils.
You could just say...
There does seem to be a consensus that anything of effectively equivalent to a chain devil or stronger is not directly controlled by the amulet. It can only be dealt, but it can be dealt with, like making a deal with it.
Yeah.
So anything of challenge 8 or higher, you could summon a bunch of, but you would have to make deals with them.
Okay.
And the more powerful you get, the more they want. So that's why your cult leader was actually able to convince some very powerful devils to help him out and guard him. But, you know, actual, like, powerful cult leader I have sway.
Yeah.
You might not have that sway if you use it. Anyway. So. What is the plan?
When do we want to go check on our army? So we need to do that at some point as well.
Yeah.
I don't like the squiggly cleaners there. I don't like them.
No.
No, I don't like them.
The sound is just so bad.
I can talk to them. I don't care.
We'll have to go there, won't we?
We'll have to go there at
It's
some point in time. Yes.
Yeah.
It's happening. We stuck with them anyway.
But when you visit, entirely up to you. You can put that off.
Maybe we can start planning on when we go get the lady.
We need to find her.
That's the thing is, I think it'd be good to handle the devils when we maybe head out, you know, just to have something around to keep running the cult.
So you say that we should go check on the army thing?
I mean,
We also need to get more members.
You have been working on those. Your group has been growing.
Mm.
I would say, like, if you were to assemble all of them, you would probably have about just shy of maybe of around like 4 dozen people. But that includes yourself and includes the serial killers. I mean, your first members. So I mean, you've gotten about like 3 dozen random folks. But how good they are at assisting the cult? You know, they're there.
Yeah.
There.
they said no higher than ice devils.
No higher than Ice Devils, and anything of effectively challenge 8 or higher would have to make some kind of deal with it.
Got it. Okay. Okay, I see.
Like, you could technically do, like, 2 Earnesses and a Chain Devil.
Yeah. Okay.
You could summon a assload of lemurs.
No.
Oh no.
I'll say 2 per challenge for those. You can just get 60 lemurs. And then all of a sudden, all together at one time.
No.
Yeah, because like I mean, if it's basically CR8, we could treat it like conjure minor elemental or major elemental, whatever it is, where it's all like you can get 1 of CR, because I think for that one it's like 1 of CR2, 2 of CR1, 3 of CR1 half, and it basically, you know, divides like that.
Yeah.
So basically,
But it's
2
like,
of CR4, you know.
this is like it's a legendary magic item. It's not quite artifact level, because it is, you know, but it does summon, like, as long as you, and it doesn't have a time
like it
limit.
makes sense that like, yeah. And you can summon greater things if you make deals with them.
Yeah.
It's just
Dangerous.
I'm just thinking for the most basic idea, that's probably how a good way to just mechanically treat it. Anyway.
Yep.
Cool. I'd be a little bit scared to summon anything more powerful at this point. You know, especially after what happened in Chult.
As I said, like,
What
depending on how its level, depends on how much of a deal it would need. You know, you summon something very high up on the level. You know, just
Oh, I mean, like, I just was like, hey, Asmodeus send something, and he sent someone very high up.
He's like, fine, you go help them. I feel like Asmodeus was just kind of like busy with something else, and is just like, who's around? You go ahead, go help them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they helped, but
It did help
in the long run?
in the long run. This is an accuracy.
Not to mention, yeah, well, it'll...
It'll come back to bite us later when we're
Yeah,
not thinking about it anymore.
yeah, exactly. At that point in time, it will probably be like awful and terrible, but you know what? It happens.
It's fine.
It probably
now.
won't spell your doom. Probably.
Potentially.
Maybe a little doom. Only a little doom. Not full doom. You might be okay without full doom.
We had
Anyway.
one of those banshee things. I don't know if anything is gonna spell a little bit of doom.
I forgot what it was called. I totally looked up what demon I was gonna summon, and then I completely forgot it by the time I put it away. Don't you love when you do that?
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
You like get to something and then you're like, oh wait, I was supposed to like remember something.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna summon just like a single spined devil, and basically just ask it what it's capable of doing within the power of the amulet.
Okay. Then you will summon the Spine Devil. I will tell you, it takes a day to enact the ritual for it. But it takes.
I see.
So it does take a long time. Every time you switch the devils, it will take another day. But then they are permanently summoned as long as you want them to be there.
See, more what I'm wondering is are they permanent? Would I actually know this? Are they permanently summoned within a range? Do they just basically despawn if they leave a certain range, or are they there permanently?
As long as the amulet is active, they are permanently summoned. You can shut the amulet down. If any devils are defeated and banished, then it will require, because you did identify, it requires a material sacrifice to replace them next time you summon.
Okay.
It will require a number of, I don't know, some kind of gems. Onyxes are usually for undead. Diamonds are for resurrecting people. We'll say rubies. Rubies sounds something like, ruby sounds appropriate, you know?
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yeah.
you know.
So you want to sacrifice...
Ruby rod, ruby
Yeah.
staff.
Yeah.
Rubies make sense for devils?
We'll say, like, for effectively, for each challenge replaced, you need about 100 gold pieces worth of rubies if something is killed in order to resummon it. So, like, yes, you can create a small horde, but if they're all killed, it's expensive to replace them all. On the other hand, if you create the battle for ones, you have to worry about the deals. So there's a lot of, like... But then it is, like, the Spine Devil, until you spend another day doing the ritual, it summons you. It serves you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then this is actually what I wanted it for. So we can now take long trips, potentially months, and leave something, maybe like a bearded devil or something, in place to kind of keep things running.
Oh god.
It's like a halfling-sized, like, winged creature with, like, all these spines all over it.
Are they small?
They are small.
I thought they were medium. Okay.
I know.
Anyway.
I think they would be medium, but they are small. The blood will run when you command it, my lord.
Mm-hmm.
Order the deaths, and they will be brought forth. It's just gonna keep kind of creepy smiling.
You meant to do that.
They are some of the more violent of the devils.
Yeah, that look he's given certainly is violent.
Are these friends, Master?
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah. Spine devils are traditionally spies and messengers.
And creepy.
Yep.
Anyway. Actually, that'll be a good one to have if need be. Just because it's like, if we are out and about, send it as a messenger back and forth.
It's a good plan.
Although, I could also do that with an imp. Anyway, I'm probably gonna dismiss it, or I probably wouldn't have summoned it then if I actually did figure all that out through identification.
Yeah.
I thought I'd have to summon one and ask what it's and ask it basically how much, basically figure out how much control I had over it. I thought it was gonna have to experiment, but...
I mean, you probably didn't figure about actually how much control over it, and you could probably experiment with it. They are loyal to you. They see you as like those that would use it. It does actually have. It has to be. It does have to be attuned, and the requirement is servant of Asmodeus. So it does actually have that requirement to use said item.
Basically, you have to be a servant of Asmodeus or a rogue.
Yep. But
because rogues can gain that ability to attune to anything.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
The only problem with that is, as long as you don't summon a chain devil, they might really make a difficult bargain. Anything less than that, you're probably fine as the rogue. Probably.
Oh, yeah, no. There definitely would be issues if you did it as a rogue. I'm just saying, technically they could.
They technically could.
Because they have or I forget which one it is. If it's the I think it's the arcane trickster.
All right, so you'll dismiss the spine devil, kind of getting an idea of how loyal it is to you.
Yeah, I'd ask it to do some things. I'd ask it to do things it clearly shouldn't be doing. Ask it to do some things that it definitely should be doing. Like, deliver a message over here. And then clean this thing. Like different tasks, and just figure out what it does. If it ever says no, if it ever, that kind of stuff.
It doesn't seem to say no to directly. You get the feeling it's more like every time it speaks to you, it sucks up to you. Oh, great and powerful master! Are there more tasks that I need to do? I accept the most menial ones. A servant like myself being brought forth to serve you in the name of our great lord is excellent.
Yeah, so I'd experiment with that.
Oh.
I'd probably, experiment with that for 2 or 3 days. It'll probably annoy the heck out of everyone. And then I'd dismiss it and prep
Until
for
you
something.
require me again, my great lord. Until again.
Mm-hmm.
Meow. Anyway, let's take our second break here now that you've met your nice spine devil friend briefly at least.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you need to use restroom, drink or snack grabbing of breaking, go ahead and do it, and we'll be back for our last approximately 45 minutes here to finish up the show. So, see you in a little bit, folks.